guys. Welcome back to K Talk. I'm your host, Mel.
And I'm Uma. On today's after show, we are taking a first look at the tale of Lady Ok. Let's see. The show is set in the Joseon period. Ok Tae-young is an attorney with a secret identity. Her name, her husband, and her status are all fake.
Yeah, the tale of Lady Ok stars Choo Young-woo, who plays Sung So-in. He also is known as Sung Hee, and he also plays Yeon Gyum. We also have Ji-yeon, who plays Ok Tae-young, and also Good Duck. Yes.
I think it's good.
I think I got that right.
Duck, yeah.
Good Duck.
Right?
Yes.
So many names.
Yeah.
So many different characters here. But before we dive into it, can I just say how annoyed I am that we've had to sign up for yet another streaming service just to catch this show? Like, can we just agree to have them play on the big three or the big four?
But I just knew there was something in my spirit that told me Lady Ok, it was going to be so good that we could not miss out on it.
And worth it, right?
And it is so worth it.
We are 4 episodes in, and I'm like, give me more.
Yeah.
This is going to be one of the shows.
I was hooked from episode 1. So much stuff happened. I was glued.
Okay. So it starts off. We meet Gudok,
yes.
Right? She's a slave. The family that owns her, horrible people.
Horrible.
Her and her dad, just rough life. We find out that her mom got sick, and these people are so disgusting that when their slaves get sick, instead of, giving them medicine and like nursing them back to health or even allowing them, they just kind of want them buried alive. So that was very heartbreaking to see what she went through at such a young age with her mom. Then we meet the girl the lady that she serves.
Mm-hmm.
What a bitch. Yeah. Just evil child.
She is.
I'm horrified.
I was disgusted by her. I literally want to fight her. Like, you don't have to be that evil.
You don't. We see that Gudok has tried to escape a few times. Super smart.
Been saving up.
Has all these side hustles.
Yeah.
To her benefit, the lady that she serves is an idiot and lazy. So Gudok has had to do everything for her. So she's, unlike the other slaves, like, she knows how to read, she knows how to write, she knows how to do math. Like, she's just educated all around. She's naturally gifted, seems like she has like a photographic memory.
Yeah.
And just super skillful. Like, anything she sees once, like, she's just, she's good. She's very athletic. Like, she's just amazing all around.
Resilient, just so strong. She's just a badass. I love her. She's amazing. And then we have So-in. I loved him off the bat.
Right.
First of all, he's such a cutie.
He's so adorable.
He's so adorable. So he's a noble. He's a noble.
I forget what his dad does, but he's up there.
Yeah.
He works for the government. He does something. I forget exactly what it is that he does. But we meet him, and he seems very chill.
Very artsy,
not very into going into politics. Like, he doesn't look like he wants to take the service exams. Then we also find out that he is an illegitimate child this entire time. He thinks he was adopted, but finds out that his mom was a courtesan. So he was like, I was wondering where I was getting this artsy who I took after.
Yeah.
Right.
And the fact that he's artsy and so creative, and people think he's a madman, which is crazy.
I know.
Like,
it's the times.
He just have different interests, and that's okay. But and he just plays right along with that. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he plays up to it.
It's doing his writings, singing, performing, that's his thing.
Right. We find out that his stepmom is evil because obviously she's jealous that her husband had cheated on her and had an illegitimate child.
Yeah.
He just thought that she didn't like him because he was adopted and he wasn't her own blood. But I'm just like, even if you were adopted, like, she's just a horrible person.
And at those times, is there any faithful men? Let's be real. Like, they all have a little side something going on.
A little side piece. But then back then, it was like they would bring you the side piece's child and you would have to raise it, no questions asked.
Yeah.
So that's kind of...
No, but I like that. The fact that even though yeah, he was conceived out of wedlock. Like, he still,
His dad, I
Yeah.
think it's the only son that he has, though. I think that woman was only able to give him daughters, right? We didn't get the
yeah, I don't,
the
does he
feeling
have
that
any,
he had brothers.
or any siblings?
No.
Yeah,
Maybe she couldn't have children. That's why she's extra bitter.
maybe.
And she hates the fact that, like, he's going to be the heir.
Yeah.
Either way, moving on. Oh, before we move on from him, love his servant, I guess.
Yeah, he is hilarious.
You could tell, like, he's not one of those, like, uppity, you know, like, ruthless slave owner. He's very much friends with his servant.
Yeah, and that's what I also like about Soen. He seems, even though he's a noble, he's very down to earth.
His character seems
Yeah.
kind, and he doesn't really care too much about the class system.
And I feel like that's why him and Good Dog, they connected, you know,
Yeah.
because they were both down to earth people that just, you know, wanted a better life, wanted better for people, just, you
And
know.
treat everybody kind of like equally,
Yeah.
right? So he's supposed to marry Guduk's lady,
Yes.
right? But he ends up meeting Guduk and kind of likes her, but he knows it can't go anywhere. Gets to know more about her lady, and he was like, I'm not feeling that situation either, when he realizes how horrible of a person that she is, and fully tells her to her face,
Oh
like,
my God.
you're
Can
not a
we
good
talk
person.
about the way he read her to Phil?
I know.
Like, I think that's what burned her so much, and
So
that's why
much.
she kind of projected onto Gooduk, because it wasn't because of her.
He didn't
literally
lie.
told her to her face, "I'm not interested in you
He was
at
like,
all."
this is how I heard you treat your servants. You're not a good person. This engagement is off. But she needed a scapegoat, right? Like, she needed to say, you try to seduce my man.
Yeah.
Because she couldn't handle the rejection.
And she was trying to act like she was into the same things as him, reading and all of that. And he was like, "No, you're not."
He called her out right
yeah,
away.
He
He's
called
like,
her
which
out.
part?
It's like, "I know your slave reads to you. You do absolutely nothing. She does literally everything
Basically,
for
she's
you."
illiterate.
Yeah.
And he called her out right away. So she takes all her frustrations out on Guduk. We see her and her dad get basically almost beaten to an inch.
To death. Yeah.
Like, within their lives, right? Like, almost getting beat to death. But somehow they managed to escape, thankfully. But then her and her dad are quickly separated because her dad feels like he's a burden to her.
Yeah. So they end up going to this inn with a really nice lady.
I was so scared of that lady. At first, I was like, oh my God, is she going to turn them in?
Yeah.
But then
But she let them in. They slept for one night, and then she wakes up in the morning, and her dad leaves. And he does say it was because he didn't want to be a burden to his daughter anymore. But the lady was nice enough to let
Even though
Guduk
she
stay
knew
and
that
work there and help her out.
She
and,
was
you
a
know.
runaway slave. Like,
Yeah.
she did what it was. So when we saw that time jump, we see that they've been together for a year, that she's stayed with her.
Yeah.
And, you know, she calls her auntie now, and life is good for them, as good as it can be. She's still waiting for her dad. I think the poor guy was sick, and he knew he was about to die, but he doesn't come back within that year. She stays with this woman. Obviously, two women running an inn by themselves.
Yeah.
They face all kinds of danger, and some thieves try to essentially, like, rob them, rape her, just being horrible people in general. But they have these noble people that come to stay at the inn, and they end up getting robbed.
Yeah, because these thugs essentially see when they arrive, and then they pretty much start plotting, planning, and they attack the inn.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They end up burning the inn down, killing the nobleman that was staying for a few days. He is the father of the original Ok Tae-young.
Yeah.
They become friends. Her and Guduk become friends. She realizes she's not like the lady that she used to serve. This is a very kind, warm,
You know what's
lovely
funny?
girl.
At first, I didn't think that was real. Like, her, I thought she.
Oh,
was
you
putting
thought she
on-
was faking it?
Yeah, I thought she was faking it because, like, like you
Obviously,
know,
because we see the other one.
yeah, the all nobles usually don't behave like that. So then when she was just very friendly, very welcoming to Guduk, like, I was like, okay. And she's like, we could be friends and all that. I'm like, I was kind of suspicious at first, but then we realized that she was being genuine, and she was just a very kind-hearted person.
And how much did the auntie come to love her that she was like, go as like this family's like adopted family, like adopted daughter, And I was
This is
just
your
like,
chance.
this is
Yeah.
your chance. And she was willing to like give up essentially like the one person that she had, that she was sharing her life with, because you kind of figure out that
And that's why
woman was
it's really,
alone.
and that's why I was really sad when they killed her too. And I was like,
I
oh,
know.
she was so close to her. That's all she had for, for this past year. And yeah, that broke my heart.
So we start to get really hopeful for Goduk, and then all of a sudden it's like her chance is taken away
Yeah.
with the fire.
And I was not expecting the original
to die.
Tae-young to die.
I know.
I just wasn't expecting that at all. I was like, oh my God.
I went into this thinking that she orchestrated a fake identity, that this was her way of surviving. I didn't think that this was just something that happened to her
And took on someone's entire identity.
I
Like
thought
a
she
whole
did that
person. Yeah.
intentionally, but this is just something that happened to her by accident.
Yeah.
And then we find out like she gets saved. She's with the girl's family now and quickly confesses right away. Like, I am not who you think I am. Tells the grandma. The grandma's like,
How sweet was the grandma? I was not expecting that reaction from her either when she came clean and said, I'm not her.
I think when the grandma saw her sincerity and confessing really quickly, I mean, she could have taken this to the grave.
Yeah.
Like, nobody would have known,
Yeah.
right? Nobody would have been, like, wise about it. But I feel like the grandma saw, and the fact that she said, I know who killed your family, and I'm going to help you bring them to justice, and that she went through with it, kept her word, and right away didn't try to, latch on to the grandma, and she was willing to leave right away. And the grandma's like, you know what? Where are you going to go?
Yeah.
You've helped me find the culprits. We got the thieves that did this to my family. Just stay.
Yeah.
I thought that was
very
and
sweet of her.
unexpected.
And unexpected, yeah.
And then we meet all these wonderful people at this new household, and
Yeah.
Becky,
yeah.
just when
She
I
was the
started to
cutest,
fall in love with
sweetest
her.
girl, yeah.
Was she not the sweetest thing ever? Just when I was starting to fall in love with her.
Yeah.
It was like her and her mom and the other servants, like,
Yeah, they were the sweetest. And then how shocked were you when you seen someone else has Soen's face?
okay, right? So here's the thing. Soen instantly falls in love
Yeah.
with our female lead. They can't be together. They part ways. So they haven't seen each other for like 2-3 years. And she kind of had feelings for him too.
She did.
Now she's in this little town. He happens to be there. And we're like, oh my God, it's him. But
Yeah.
before we see him in like the magistrates, like the cops or police or
Yeah,
whatever the hell they
officer.
are, the officers,
Yeah.
in his outfits. So I had to do a double take, and I'm like, wait a minute, is that Soen? Like, am I seeing things? I don't get it. And then he walks by. At this point, he's already gotten into a fight with his dad, figured out he's an illegitimate child, left his household, and wants to be a storyteller.
Yeah. So he just kind of goes on the road.
Yeah, he's a
leaves
full-fledged artist now. He's out there. He's doing his own thing. Then he shows up, and you find out this entire time, every town he goes to, he takes down her wanted posters. I was like, he loves her.
He does.
He loves her so bad. But yeah, and then we find out, okay, here's the thing. When we find out that they both look alike, because even Tae-young was like thrown off,
Yeah.
right? I thought at first maybe it was twins separated at birth.
No. I knew. I'm like, this is some K-drama stuff. I'm like,
You're like,
this is
they
very
will have the
possible.
audacity of saying
Yeah.
these two people look alike and not even say it was
Yeah,
like.
I'm sure obviously there's a story behind it.
Mhm.
Or maybe not. There might not be a story. Maybe, I mean, K-dramas can be that ridiculous.
It
so
is.
I wouldn't be surprised. But
But we move on.
I don't care. Both faces are hot. I love them both. And that's the thing. I
You're
can't
like
pick
more of him.
I can't pick between the two. I love them both. They both have different personalities. One is a creative. One is more into fighting and is like,
Yeah.
an officer. But I just love both their personalities.
I know.
You know?
So when she sees him performing and they clock each other, and then she runs away and he finds her the next day and he was like, I want to show you a place. Did you see the look of disgust on her face when he couldn't jump over the fence?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
She was like, what is this?
Yeah. He's
She's
like,
just
ma'am,
looking
I'm
at
a
him like-
creative. I don't do all of this
He's a
physical stuff."
softie.
Yeah,
he
he
said it
is.
from the get-go.
He's
First
like,
episode.
I like to read and dance.
I have soft hands.
Yeah.
Did he have like a cuticle oil situation happening at the beginning where he's like, I just dip my fingers in this. But So now she meets back up with the artist, tells him, no, I can't be with you. I'm not leaving this situation. He's just happy that she's safe, is very accepting of the fact that they can't be together.
How sweet is it when he took her to the sea where she
I
always
know.
wanted, and he said, I can build a house for you here because that was her dream. I'm like, oh my God, you are too cute.
I know. And I was kind of sad to see him go because the way he was so accepting of the fact that she couldn't run away with him.
Yeah.
I was like, that's great. Then we see that guy more fully. We're
Yeah.
like, obviously, we're not going to miss out on this phase. Very weird.
Yeah.
But he also kind of is very like impressed.
Yeah, but initially
Taeyeon.
when we first seen him, you seen when he looked at the poster and looked at her, I was like, oh my God, is he gonna
He's going to put two and
snitch
two
her,
together.
snitch on her?
We don't know who
yeah.
he was, right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't know if he was going to
But he ended up being a really nice guy
expose her.
as well. So
He's really nice. He admires her a lot. He's impressed by her character, by her skills,
yeah,
that she can literally fight off thieves and she's not like just a dainty little, thing.
yeah,
But it's just, I feel like so much has happened too. Like,
yeah. So much has, and then the whole Becky getting killed, and it was orchestrated by that family. I hate them.
okay, so the ladies in this new town,
Yeah,
they fully are happy that they control
Just
everyone
just a
and the
bunch of
magistrate or like the
mean
little
girls.
court.
Yeah, they're
Like,
just a bunch of mean girls. Yeah,
horrible,
just ridiculous.
horrible women who don't want to lose their power over
Yeah.
anything. But just as we fall in love with Taeyoung's new life, and she finally has a little bit of peace, and she's connecting with people, and becomes friends with Becky as well. We find out that a noble kid, I don't even think he was a grown man at this point,
Yeah, he's a kid. Yeah,
was like super in love with her. His mom found out and wanted to
Get
create
rid
a
of her.
situation, exactly,
Yeah.
like create a situation where one of her slaves would rape her and kind of in front of her son, so her
Yeah.
son could not love her anymore.
that's
just
that's
evil.
a bit extreme, like
Evil.
and disgusting. But
But
yeah.
Becky accidentally ends up dying.
Yeah,
The slave can't say anything. The son can't say anything. But Taeyoung steps up and she was like, this is not fair. Like, we know it's not suicide. So
Yeah.
that's how she comes into the legal, like, that's how she wants to
Aspect,
become the whole legal aspect and how she's going to become a lawyer, essentially.
yeah,
Love that she was able to save Becky's mom as well.
yeah. That was powerful.
Right?
I loved seeing that.
We find out, what's the officer's name? Because I don't want to say So-in again.
Yeongyum.
Yes.
Yeongyum.
We find out that his dad is the new magistrate in town and they really want to clean it up because
Yeah.
they know it's corrupt and that these people are abusing their power and treating their slaves and the commoners in the worst way.
Yeah,
So they kind of push Taeyoung to step up and like really give her like a fair trial.
yeah,
Everything ends up working out. They know that it's not suicide. Her murderers are the boy confesses in his
and now
parents'
they know it's
place.
not Maxim. Is nothing to do with her.
She ends up
as well.
saving her.
Yeah,
Ends up connecting, and now she is going to marry
yeah.
So-in's doppelganger. So
yeah, I was up, and the saddest part was, So-in was there at the wedding. He
I
witnessed
know.
it, and I was just like, oh my God. But the one thing I'm happy about, that it's not a love marriage. I'm happy that it wasn't a situation where she fell in love with him too, and it would be this weird whatever. So it is a marriage of convenience, pretty much for
both of them.
So we find out that Yeongyum is gay.
Gay, and he needs a beard,
Yeah.
and that's fine. So they're both helping each other because
And she's also still on the run and wanted. So
and she needs protection, right?
Exactly. So he provides protection for her. So it kind of works out, them getting together, But it was just sad that obviously So-in has no clue right now that it's not like a love marriage, that it's, so he's heartbroken, rightfully so. And
It goes on.
I was not expecting that.
Me too. And then just when we think, okay, they're about to have a little bit of peace and things are about to calm down, we find out that he's mistaken for wanting to take care of other children
That was so sweet.
right? I think he realized, like, you know, because his dad is so powerful and nobody knew about his sexuality,
Yeah.
he felt safe. But he knew that there's other kids, obviously, that don't have that.
And he knew the reason why he had to get married. He knew eventually people would start talking.
Exactly.
Why is he not getting married? What's
Mhm.
going on? So I felt like that's why he really wanted to get married. Um, yeah. And then he has this whole thing where he essentially just rescues, you know,
Trains, makes them strong, able to take care
Yeah.
of themselves so that nobody can harm them and protect themselves as much as they can.
yeah,
All these children that have kind of just been discarded,
basically. Yeah.
horrible. And then we find out that in the town, the what was his name? One of the guys in the political officer,
Mhm.
like, is he like the inspector? I don't know, but he's one of the noblemen in the town. We find out that
He's also
like
one of the evil ones.
Yeah.
He's married to one of the evil
That
women.
lady.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we find out now he's snatching up kids, commoners, not even like just enslaved children,
Yeah.
children that have been discarded. He's tricking commoners that are like illiterate, not slaves, to giving up their children because he wants to illegally mine gold now.
Yeah. Seen that. I was like, okay.
They're doing
And
too
now
much.
both those families are in on it. And now they want to marry their kids off to each other.
Exactly. Except the wife that said, no, we're not going to do this, she doesn't know that about their little alliance,
Yeah.
right? And
She, doesn't- she didn't even, she wasn't even for them getting married, to be honest.
she
wasn't
didn't
for
want
it.
that
Yeah,
at
she
all.
didn't.
But then the woman was just like, well,
Yeah, so it's the woman and the two men that are just talking about this whole mining thing. And then the guy kind of finds out about his little situation of helping these things, and he thinks it's like some criminal treasonous act, which
he
is
frames
not.
them as
Yeah,
like
he frames
traitors,
them.
right? Just to
Yeah.
kind of take the heat off of them.
Yeah,
And all the children that they've been stealing,
yeah,
illegally mining. And then Seon's doppelganger, the officer, gets framed and he's on the run now.
and I hate that he had to leave when it wasn't even about that, but
But then the real Seon comes back and saves him
he did. That was so cute.
last minute. And I was like, oh my God, they're going to get a chance to be together.
Yeah, because now he's out of the picture. He left town. So-
Exactly. And I think at some point she's going to reveal to him, like, this is not a love marriage.
And then his father is telling Good Duck to leave.
Well, he has to. And here's the thing. The father, like, poisoned himself, right? Like, he killed himself.
I don't think he poisoned himself. I think he literally had kind of some type of stroke or
You
heart attack
think?
from just the
No.
stress of
This man
of them,
seemed fully healthy.
of them taking the power from him. Though you got to understand he's an older man as well, right? So I think just out of shock, I think he
I
passed.
think he
from out of
poisoned himself and he knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
I'm dying to find out next episode because I'm
I'm
like,
dying.
there's
to
no way
find
he
out.
could have just passed out in that moment due to shock.
Well,
He seemed very healthy.
that's
He didn't
possible.
seem very
I mean, he's
that
older,
old either.
and you got to understand that's a big shock. Taking all your titles, taking your home, like what would he have left?
I guess.
Or it could be poison, like I said, because you already knew it was.
He knew it was
going to
coming, and I don't
happen.
think he could deal with it. Like, his son, oh my God, to his detriment, is gay.
Yeah,
And
but I think now
he's freaking out about it. And then he just
Good
feels
Duck
like
is
his
gonna-
life has
is
ended.
gonna lose her mind now and really step up and try to take
I
these
hope she
people down.
does.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Her being wanted is always hanging over her head.
Yeah.
And now we see that stupid bitch is still chasing her down.
Yeah.
She should have killed her. I don't think dumping the chamber pot on her, that was not enough for my liking. Like, you
Yeah.
literally tried to kill her dad. You should have killed her too, because she's never going to let you go.
Yeah, the fact that she's in a completely different town. She wasn't expecting her to come
She
this
is
far
searching
out.
all over the country.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I don't even think she managed to kill the dad. I think she just injured him.
It looked like she killed him though.
Really?
Yeah. But no, I think it would be all over the posters that she's a murderer. So I don't.
I think she's just wanted as a runaway slave now.
Yeah. Yeah. So she's still. So that's gonna be really. I want to see how she just maneuvers that. It's like you're still wanted, but you also got to fight these people.
Exactly. And I want to see how Seon said bye to them. He knew that they were on the run.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not helping you for you, because clearly this is the woman that he loves. That's fine. He's doing it because of Taeyong. But I think he's going to come back when he realizes she has no one now.
Do you think now that, Yoon is gone, do you think Seon's going to come in and fill in
and
a way?
pretend to be her husband?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because
I don't think so because he's wanted.
Yeah, her husband just left. I don't really see him making a quick U-turn, but he might though, because at the end of the day, he's
No, the
a fighter.
husband is gone. But I'm saying I feel like So-yeon is going to step in some way.
I think he's
Maybe
gonna
in
come
a
back.
way to be like, oh, you see, he doesn't have that mark. What are you guys talking about? Kind of thing. Kind of in a way to clear her husband's name.
True.
In a way. You know what I mean?
You're right.
Yeah. So I think she's going to tell him to step in.
I don't even think that they know that her husband has that mark, though. They literally
didn't.
just
Yeah.
stripped this man of his title, his assets, and everything
Yes.
because he failed, or like, a rebellion was about to happen, or like people were training on his watch. Like he just didn't do a good enough job.
Yes, that's true. They didn't actually
They
see
don't
with their
really
own eyes.
know.
The father only seen his mark. So yeah, he could play him and, step in and be like, what are you guys talking about? I don't have the mark. So, I'm just so excited. I am so hooked on this show.
The fact that they dropped this towards the end of the year, like, is it too soon to be like, I think it's going to be one of my favorites?
No, because it's probably it's up there for me already.
I was
Because
not expecting.
we're only 4 episodes in, and it's a 16 episode
And it's
series,
so much has
and
happened.
It's so good. I don't know where it can go, and I love shows that are like this, that are not predictable. You don't know where it's gonna go. Like, I am sat.
It's literally, we've had a time jump. It feels like she's already lived like 2 to 3 different lives. Like
Yeah.
she was a lawyer first, and then she was a runaway slave, and then she was an innkeeper, and now she's a noble. Like, it for 4 episodes, a lot.
Yeah.
Has
And I can't wait
happened.
for her to literally take down every family.
Oh, she will.
I cannot wait. And just clean up the entire city and just take over. But I love that she stands up to them and they are shocked by her. It's
I
like,
know.
you're not the Ok Tae-young that we remember. Like, who is, you
Even
know
though
what I
she
mean?
was feisty, I think she was more feisty on paper. Like, we
Yeah.
find out that she's been petitioning the court this entire time to come in and clean up her hometown because she knew these people, the nobles, were like abusing their power. So I think she was a fighter on paper, and she was going to be vocal. And
Yeah,
I
that's
like
true.
that she
So
stepped into those shoes, and she was like, "I'll be the protector of the little guy."
Yeah, and she is very similar to the original.
Yeah, they do
Ok
have the
Tae-young.
same ideals.
Yeah, and they do, and morals, and they're both very sweet, kind, and they care about people genuinely. So yeah, she was like the perfect villain.
She
you
really
know?
is. I don't even know what to say because I can't even predict where this is gonna go. It kind of reminds me of like My Dearest, where it was like from
So
the
much was
start to
going
the
on.
end,
Yeah.
it looked like they lived so many different lifetimes.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't even predict because
I just hope
Yeah.
they stop doing this. I hope the release schedule gets back to normal.
yeah, because episode 4 was supposed to drop yesterday and it didn't. But yeah, hopefully moving forward there is no more scheduling issues. But yeah, I literally cannot predict what can happen. Like, because there's already so many things I did not expect to happen. But yeah, but one, I do think that Soen is gonna come in some way, fill in while he's gone.
He's gonna try and step up for her for sure.
Yeah.
It's just he's not a fighter though.
He's probably gonna have to learn, like maybe take some private classes.
Do
Or
you think she's
something.
gonna inspire him?
I think so. I think, yeah, she's gonna tell him, like, hey, for you to be him, he was a fighter, so you need to learn and maybe take some classes, someone teach him. But yeah,
Do you see him giving up for now, giving up being a storyteller and kind of going back to his dad to reclaim his noble title so he can have some power to help her? Or do you think he's gonna stay?
I think he's gonna stop for the time being, just being a performer, and kind of just focus on helping.
And just being there for her.
Yeah, being there for her. Yeah,
That could work. Where's her grandma now? Her grandma came back
She came
just
back
to
for the
marry
wedding.
her off.
yeah.
Is she still around?
And
Like,
I don't think so. And then I think she kind of disappeared.
she was just like, great, married
And,
her
and
off,
I just
gotta
want to see
go.
what's gonna happen now when, this old man passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Where is she gonna go now? She's just gonna go back to her home with the grandma and where they
And
live. I'm guessing.
Take the little boy with her now, her
Oh yeah, yeah,
little brother, because he's gonna be all alone.
yeah. I think she will.
I don't know.
That was
It's
a
just-
very hard scene. But yeah, I am excited. Like,
Me
to see
too.
what
This looks like it's gonna be such a great show.
yeah,
So can't wait. Love that it's 16 episodes.
yeah.
Well, that's it for our first look at Lady The Tale of Lady Oct. If you have enjoyed this episode, let us know what you think in the comments. Yeah. See you next time.
Bye.